You know that one number that can completely change your budget every single month? Yeah, the price of fuel. But have you ever really stopped to wonder where that number actually comes from? Today, we're diving deep into the official rulebook, the Petroleum Pricing Regulations, to peel back the layers and show you exactly what goes into the price you pay at the pump. Okay, let's talk about a date every Kenyan knows, the 14th of the month. That's the day the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, or EPRA, announces the new fuel prices. And you know what? This isn't just some number they pull out of a hat. It's a really strict legal formula. So let's get into it. Let's break down that exact recipe. All right, to really get our heads around this, we're actually going to do something a little different. We're going to work backwards. We'll start with that final price you see at the station, and then we're going to peel back every single layer, one by one, to see what's really driving the cost. Think of the final price you pay like a recipe. It's really just got four main ingredients. The biggest one, by far, is the wholesale price. Then you add in the cost to get the fuel to the station's own approved profit margin, and finally, of course, you've got VAT right on top.
So that leads to the big question, right? What in the world is inside that giant wholesale price block? Because here's the thing, it's not just one number. Nope, it's actually a whole bunch of different costs all rolled into one. So yeah, let's dive in and unpack this thing.
Okay, so now we're going one level deeper. The official regulations lay out this super precise formula for the wholesale price, and this, right here, is where you start to see just how many different things get added on before that fuel even thinks about reaching your local petrol station.
Wow. Okay, just take a look at all of this. This is everything that gets crammed into that wholesale price. It's so much more than just the cost of the fuel. You've got jetty fees, storage costs, transport costs, and not just once. We're talking multiple stages. And get this, there are even approved allowances for fuel that literally gets lost along the way. Then you pile on financing costs, the wholesaler's margin, and a bunch of taxes, and suddenly you've got this massive, complicated calculation.
But here's the most important part, the real key to understanding all of this. Every single one of those costs we just talked about, the storage, the transport, all of it, it's all stacked right on top of one single foundational number. And that's the cost of the fuel the second it arrives in Kenya.
So, this brings us right down to the bedrock, the absolute foundation of the entire price. It's officially called the landed cost, and you can think of it as the starting point for everything else.
So how do they figure out that landed cost? Well, they use this formula right here. Basically, what it does is it calculates the weighted average price of all the petrol, diesel, and kerosene that came into the port of Mombasa in a specific one-month window, from the 10th of last month to the 9th of this one.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because that landed cost isn't just the price of oil on the world market. No way. It includes literally everything it takes to get that fuel to Kenya. We're talking shipping costs, insurance for risks at sea, bank fees, and even the charges from the Kenya Ports Authority. They even factor in the cost of handling the cargo and, again, potential losses at sea. Plus, inspection fees, admin fees, it's a whole global journey, and there's a cost at every single step.
Okay, so we've seen the complex formula, but a formula is just numbers on a page, right? Who actually makes sure everyone follows these rules? Well, the whole system is run by a single regulator with a very strict set of rules, making sure everyone, and I mean everyone, plays by the same book.
In all the legal documents, they're just called the authority. But in the real world, that's EPRA, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority. They are the ones with the legal power, the actual mandate, to do all these calculations and then publish the official prices for the whole country. And this process runs like clockwork. Seriously, the data collection for imported fuel stops on the 9th of the month. Then EPRA has just 5 days to crunch all the numbers. On the 14th, they publish the new prices, and then, bam, at midnight, those prices go into effect and they're locked in for the next month. It's super predictable. Now, here's something you absolutely need to know. The prices that EPRA announces, they are not suggestions. They are a maximum. The law is totally clear on this. No petrol station in Kenya can legally charge you even 1 shilling more than that official price.
And these rules definitely have teeth. The law lays out specific penalties if you don't comply. For example, a station can get hit with a 20,000 shilling fine just for not putting up a sign that clearly shows the official prices. It's serious business.
In this quote, which we pulled straight from the regulations, just drives the point home. This isn't just a guideline, it's the law. Breaking these pricing rules is an actual offense, and it comes with legal consequences. It's all about making sure there's a level playing field and protecting all of us from random price increases. Oh, and one last important detail here. This whole complicated formula we've been talking about, it doesn't actually apply to every single type of fuel out there. These specific regulations are really focused on the big three, the most essential fuels for the economy and for people at home: superpetrol, kerosene, and diesel.
All right, so we've peeled back all those layers. The legal stuff, the financial stuff, everything from a ship on the high seas all the way to your local station. So, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the main thing to remember is this. That number you see on the pump isn't just pulled out of thin air. It's the final result of a long, complicated, and super regulated journey. It all starts with the global price of oil. And then, layer after layer of costs, margins, and taxes get added on, as that fuel makes its way from a tanker in Mombasa right into your car. So let's end with a question for you. Now that you know the whole recipe, I mean, everything from port fees to those tiny allowances for losses, does it change how you look at the price at the pump? Because it's not just a number on a sign, is it? It's really a story of a global journey, regulated all the way down to the very last shilling. Pretty incredible when you think about it.